All right, welcome back to the QPR View. We're here with Jawad, and we've got tons to talk about on this week's episode. We're going to talk about that Millwall win. We'll also talk about Dazal on loan. We're also going to talk about the new chief executive, and of course, Ramsey leaving QPR after all this time. So much to get through. So let's start straight away. Jawad, how are you, first of all?
Much better than I've been over the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks probably. What a difference a win can make.
Absolutely, yeah. On Boxing Day, Millwall took you to task and beat you quite handsomely and quite easily. And then you reversed that this weekend. Were you surprised at the result given what had gone before, or was that one of the best performances you've seen for a while?
I think the Boxing Day game was two really poor sides. That was probably our worst performance, maybe of the season. Even under Ainsworth, we were absolutely dreadful. Millwall didn't really have to do much to beat us. So I think going in at the weekend, I don't think there was kind of a fear, if you like. And I would say I could argue that they probably played better against Watford than they did against Millwall, funnily enough. But I think the leadership that Steve Cook offers is huge. Jack Colback had his best game of the season. Lyndon Dykes looks like a revitalised player playing in a deeper role. He offered so much defensively and going forward that I think they've nicknamed him Joel Lyndon, that striker dropping back into the midfield role. So yeah, it was a good win, really good win.
And is it clear now that you've got to start Armstrong with Dykes?
Yeah, I think if Armstrong's fit now, he has to start. I think he's so raw still, but it's that fear that he puts into other teams. He doesn't give them a moment's peace. And like I said, I actually think Lyndon Dykes looks much more confident and more comfortable in that role as well. So the issue comes if one of them gets injured, then there's nothing beyond that forward wise. So that's the only concern.
Just talk to us about the return of Steve Cook and just how immense a player he was for you.
Yeah, he has missed the last few games. I think over the course of the season, we're in the clean sheet table. We're 7th, so actually conceding goals hasn't been a huge issue really, but he just adds so much kind of assurance at the back. Him and Clark Salter, if fit, they're outstanding players at that level. And he just added kind of a togetherness. When the goals are scored, he's the first one celebrating, pulling everyone together. He's huge for us.
Okay. Games don't come much bigger than this weekend against Huddersfield. Before we talk about that, we just talk about your manager. You've now had a good run of nearly 3 months with him in charge. What's your overarching assessment of the job he's done?
I think most fans are thrilled with what he's done. I think the consensus is that even if we go down, he's the man that we want to lead us forward in League One. He speaks with confidence after the games. He doesn't have knee-jerk reactions. Very, very consistent in his message that he gets across. And the football that we've played has been decent. And what I like about him is there's no transfers coming in. He's not moaning about it. He's not putting pressure on the board. He's just dealing the hand that he's got, and he's doing well, really well.
All right, then let's talk about the Huddersfield game this weekend. It's a tricky one to play it, isn't it? Because of course you go a goal down, and Huddersfield, you know what's going to happen. They're just going to put 10 men behind the ball, and you know yourself, you haven't been very good at breaking teams down when that's happened. So, is it a case of going attack, and just hoping for the best, or does it need to be a bit more conservative?
I think it will be quite a high intensity start from us. I think if Clark Salter and Cook are fit with Colback and Field in front of them, I think they'll be confident that the sort of solidity is there for the team. And I think I would have thought the only change to the team might be Paul Smith comes in because he was supposed to start at the weekend, but picked up a knock in the warm up. And if he starts, there's only one way that will start the game, and that will be to go for it. And I would be confident if we score first that we might end up winning comfortably. But
okay. Like you say, what a difference a win makes, eh? Okay.
A win makes, yeah, I know.
All right then. This week, Birmingham have signed Duzzle on loan. Strange one, this one. Although I was reading a lot that people weren't that happy aren't that bothered that he's gone because he's perhaps hiding a lot in games. What's your view on it?
I think one of the fan sites have nicknamed him Andre the Friendly Ghost because a whole game can go by and you don't realise that he's been playing. In hindsight, I don't think it was a bad signing. I think the potential was there, and I think it's more to do with how the club have used him maybe than him. But I think in his matches, he's had 2 red cards, 2 goals, and 2 assists. And for a central midfielder, that's forward thinking to only have 2 goals and 2 assists in I think 80 odd appearances isn't great. And I think the hope is that his wages coming off the wage bill might enable them to bring in a loan at the last minute, maybe.
Just a couple more then. The new chief executive, younger than both of us, I think. I know it happened a week ago, but we haven't seen you for a while. What's the story there? And does it bring you fresh hope that this is a step forward?
Before he joined, you basically had Lee Hoos, who was the chief executive, the chairman, and by all accounts, the director of football as well. So there were 2 roles that needed filling there. So who fills it? Time will tell if he's the right choice or not. But he works for a company that have been doing some work for the club since August, I think. So yeah, a change was needed. The club is kind of just needs ripping out and starting again. So I guess it's a step in the right direction for us.
Okay. And of course, Chris Ramsey left QPR earlier this month as well. This is following a review of the academy structure. Just a word on, obviously, the time obviously is spent at your club, so he managed it for a bit, didn't he, as well, for nearly a full season.
Yeah, he came with a glowing reputation in the game, really, and I still hear people talking of him so highly. Ilias Chair commented on the news with a broken heart and the best. So I think within the game and individually, the players look up to him in terms of what he's done for the club. I think when you look at really in the time, the only players that we've kind of developed Eze and Chair, then kind of if his role was to produce players, he's not done it. So again, I think it was time that a change was made. Yeah.
Okay. And then the final question on QPR. Are you going to stay up?
If you'd asked me before Saturday, it would have been a hard no. I think this Sunday is absolutely huge. I think we've still got to play Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham and Birmingham all at home. So I think those 4 games are clearly going to be targeted as huge games that the potential to win those is they're going to be vital. I've started to look at the last few games of the season, and the last 2 games are Leeds and Coventry. So looking at those, it looks like we're going to have to be safe before we hit those 2 games.
Yeah. Or hope that they're already in the playoffs and they're just going to rest players. Yeah.
Rest players, yeah. I think if, and it's a really massive if, that 11 or 12 core of the squad stay fit, I think we would all be fairly confident. But a couple of injuries weakens us hugely. So, I would say I'm still 50-50. If we win on Sunday, it'll probably be 60-40 in favour of staying up.
We'll all be watching on Sunday. Relegation 6-pointer. Sums it up nicely, doesn't it? Just before I let you go, we've had Sunderland fans commenting on lots of our channels about Michael Beale, and our resident Sunderland fan is not happy with Michael Beale. You are the only other fan on our channel who will be placed to make a comment on whether Sunderland fans should give him more time. What's your view? They want him out. Can you understand it or not?
I personally think he's going to have that difficulty in any job because of how he behaved at QPR. I think his reputation is now somebody that's not loyal. Didn't do a good job at Rangers. Made a really good start at QPR, to be fair, but his last 5 games were where our kind of bad run started. We were awful in those games. We played West Brom and Huddersfield at home, who were the bottom 2 at the time, lost to both of them. And I think he's kind of built a reputation on a good 10 games at QPR, which is strange. And it just seems like Sunderland were mad to sack what they had to bring in somebody that really is unproven and has basically, not achieved much yet in the game. I would have thought if they lose at the weekend, would have thought he'll be looking for a new job, and where he goes from there, God knows.
Yeah, crazy after 8 games, isn't it? Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck. Good luck against Huddersfield.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next week, hopefully with a smile on your face.
Yeah, speak to you next week.
All right. Cheers, Jared. Nice one.
Thanks, Mark. Take care. Bye.